Hello everyone, welcome to another series of today's GK. Let's begin with previous day practice question. Question was, in the context of government schemes and policies, 𝐸-Sanjeevani is associated with which of the following ministries of India? Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Culture, or Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The correct answer is option D, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Recently, Prime Minister of India has described the achievement of the target of 10 crore 𝐸-Sanjeevani teleconsultations in the country as a remarkable feat. He also lauded all those doctors who are at the forefront of building a strong digital health ecosystem in India. National Teleconsultation Service or 𝐸-Sanjeevani of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is first of its kind online OPD service offered by a country government to its citizens. National Teleconsultation Service aims to provide healthcare services to patients in their homes. Safe and structured video-based clinical consultations between a doctor in a hospital and a patient in the confines of his home are being enabled. Hence, option D is correct. Now let's begin today's session. First question is, Goods and Services Tax Council or GST Council can be found in which of the following constitutional provisions of India? Article 79A, Article 155, Article 279A or Article 265. The correct answer is option C, Article 279A. Recently, the 49th meeting of the GST Council was held in New Delhi. The meeting was chaired by the Finance Minister of India. Article 279A states that the President shall constitute a council to be called the Goods and Services Tax Council. It is constituted under 101st Constitutional Amendment Act 2016. Hence, option C is correct. The Goods and Services Tax Council shall consist of the following members, namely, the Union Finance Minister as chairperson, the Union Minister of State in charge of Revenue or Finance as member, and the Minister in charge of Finance or Taxation or any other minister nominated by each state government as members. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding Kuno National Park. 1. Northern tropical dry deciduous forest can be found in this national park. 2. It is located in the northeast of Madhya Pradesh. Which of the above given statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A, 1 only. 12 cheetahs from South Africa have arrived at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh on February 18. Kuno National Park is located on northwest Madhya Pradesh, close to the state border of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. It lies on Vindhya ranges, hence statement 2 is not correct. Biogeographically, this area falls under the Kathiawar Gir Dry Deciduous Forest ecoregion. The forest types found in this area include the Northern Tropical Dry Deciduous Forest, Southern Tropical Dry Deciduous Forest, Dry Savanna Forest and Grassland, Tropical Riverine Forest. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Hence, option A is correct. Next question is, recently the central government has declared 2 organizations as terrorist organizations under which of the following acts? The National Security Act 1980, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 2019, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 or Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. The correct answer is option B, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 2019. Recently, the central government has declared the following 2 organizations as terrorist organizations under the provisions of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act or UAPA. Khalistan Tiger Force, it promotes various acts of terrorism including targeted killings in Punjab. And Jammu and Kashmir Ghaznavi Force, it has been found involved in infiltration, bids, narcotics and weapon smuggling and carrying out terror attacks in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Therefore, option B is correct. In furtherance to India's zero-tolerance policy towards terrorism, the central government amended the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act in August 2019. It aims to include the provision of designating an individual as terrorist. Prior to this amendment, only organizations could be designated as terrorist organization. Next question is, recently the term feathering was in the news. It is related to aircraft, missiles, afforestation or quantum computing. The correct answer is option A, aircraft. A preliminary report by the Aircraft Accident Investigation Commission of Nepal on the recent crash in Pokhara says that the propellers of the plane were found in an unusual feathered position. During engine failure or an engine shutdown mid-air, a pilot flying an aircraft with variable pitch propellers is able to change the pitch or angle of the propeller blades. A pilot does so because they slice the airflow in a more or less parallel motion like a knife and do not hit the air flatly. This has the effect of reducing the drag, increasing the gliding distance and preventing airspeed from decaying below unsafe limits. This is called the feathering of propellers. In fact, feathering is part of the checklist if the crew, faced with an emergency of such aircraft, is planning a forced landing. Hence, option A is correct. Next question is, in the context of the energy needs of India, North India's first nuclear plant is coming up in which of the following states or UTs of India? Punjab, Haryana, Ladakh or Jammu and Kashmir? The correct answer is option B, Haryana. North India's first nuclear plant is coming up in Haryana in the town of Gorakhpur, which is about 150 km north of the national capital of New Delhi. Hence, option B is correct. Gorakhpur Haryana Anuvidyut Pariyojana or GHAVP has two units of 700 megawatt capacity each of pressurized heavy water reactor or PHWR. Its indigenous design is under implementation near Gorakhpur village in Fatehabad district in Haryana. Construction of other main plant buildings or structures via fire water pump house, safety related pump house, fuel oil shortage area 1 and 2, ventilation stack, overhead tank, switchyard control building, safety related and non-safety related tunnel and trenches, retaining walls and garland drain is under progress. Next question is, with reference to Indian arts and culture, the term Padhar is referred to literature, folk painting, folk dance or folk music. The correct answer is option C, folk dance. Padhar dance is a famous folk dance of Gujarat, hence option C is correct. Padhar dance is performed in rituals and for entertainment purposes. Since the Padhar community is wanderlust in nature, their folk dance is basically an illustration of their livelihood, which largely depends on fishing. Hence, their dance depicts the lives of mariners and the wavy nature of the sea. Also, since the community is a happy-go-lucky lot, their dance involves fun elements as well. The main highlight of this dance is that the dance involves the illustration of waves. Next question is, with reference to Thwaites Glacier, consider the following statements. 1. It's also known as Doomsday Glacier. 2. It is located in West Antarctica. Which of the above given statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. According to new research, Thwaites Glacier is melting rapidly in unexpected ways. As climate change accelerates, the Thwaites Glacier is rapidly changing. Every year it sheds billions of tons of ice into the ocean, contributing about 4% of annual sea level rise. The Thwaites Glacier is roughly the size of Florida and is located in West Antarctica. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The Thwaites Glacier in Antarctica is also known as the Doomsday Glacier. Hence, statement 1 is also correct. Therefore, option C is correct. Next question is, Cyclone Freddy is sometimes seen in the news. It is associated with which of the following regions? East Africa, East China Sea, Bay of Bengal or South China Sea? The correct answer is option A, East Africa. The strongest tropical storm, Cyclone Freddy, is moving towards Madagascar's east coast. French National Meteorological Service has described Freddy as an intense tropical cyclone. It is a particularly powerful and compact tropical system. It will likely to pass just north of a La Reunion on 20 February and is forecasted to make landfall in Madagascar on 21st February. It represents a significant flood risk for Madagascar as soils are already saturated in central parts of the island from the impact of cyclone 𝐏𝐻𝐒. Hence, option A is correct. Next question is, consider the following countries. 1. Iraq, 2. Iran, 3. Turkey. Which of the above given countries borders Syria? 1 only, 2 only, 1 and 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option C, 1 and 3 only. Recently, at least 53 civilians were killed in an attack in Syria's central desert province of Homs. Syria, country located on the east coast of the Mediterranean Sea in southwestern Asia. Its area includes territory in the Golan Heights that has been occupied by Israel since 1967. The capital is Damascus, which is located on the Barada River. It is situated in an oasis at the foot of Mount Qasyan. Syria is bounded by Turkey to the north, Iraq to the east and southeast, Jordan to the south, and Lebanon and Israel to the southwest. Therefore, option C is correct. Last question is, in the context of science and technology, 𝐾𝐫𝐤𝐏 Space Center is associated with which of the following space agencies? The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the Indian Space Research Organization, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or European Space Agency? The correct answer is option C, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Recently, Japan's space agency JAXA has aborted the inaugural launch of its next generation H3 rocket after the auxiliary booster engines failed to ignite. The main engine of the rocket, which is carrying an observation satellite and an experimental sensor to detect missile launches, had already ignited when the launch was halted. The unsuccessful launch at the 𝐾𝐫𝐤𝐏 Space Center in southern Japan was a setback for Japan's space program. It also has suffered an earlier failed launch in October of a smaller Epsilon series solid-fueled rocket designed to launch scientific satellites. Hence, option C is correct. The H3 rocket is about 60 meters, that is 196 feet long. It can carry larger payloads than the 53-meter or 174-foot H2A. Now it's time for the practice question. The mosi 2 naval exercises is associated with which of the following countries? India, Japan and South Africa, Russia, China and South Africa, Russia, China and Pakistan, or USA, South Korea and Australia? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.